Hey YouTubers, welcome back. Welcome to video number 26 for Friday, December 10th, 2010 of Small Engines Questions and Answers. I'm going to quickly show you guys how much snow we have right now. Well, this is all we have. It's not much. If you drive 10 minutes down the road from my place here, they have over a foot of snow. It's kind of weird that they're so close and they have that much snow. Before I get started, I want to thank Raymond from Vermont, USA for sending me these gloves for free. They're work gloves, and these are lined with nitrile, and they're going to come in handy around the shop here. Also, there's a box of black, tough nitrile gloves. They're disposable. They're called Grease Monkey. Never seen these before. So, thanks again, Raymond. Also, I want to show you guys what I've been buying with the contributions I've been getting. What I bought here is a brand new cylinder hone. It's a little bigger than the one I had. So when I do an engine rebuild, I'm going to have this ready to go. It's made by Lyle, which are good tools as well. And I bought a set of professional pick tools. These are made by Jet. It's a professional tool company here in Canada. And these tools are warranted for life. And these are nice and sharp, and the metal is hardened at the tip too. And I also bought a 1/4 inch ratchet made by Jet. 670-926A, and this is a professional tool as well. It's warranted for life. What I like is this little lever here. You can switch from reverse to forward, and the little push button here that you can use to drop your socket when you can't reach in and get it off by hand. And I want to send a special thanks to Roger. Now the first question today, YouTuber is asking me, how do you install a float bowl gasket or O-ring on a carburetor? Now this here is a Tecumseh carburetor, but the same principle will apply to many other carburetors. This is a lawnmower carburetor, but it's also going to be the same on your snowblower. Just remove the jet at the bottom. Sometimes you're going to have a nut here with a screw coming out, but it's the same thing. Just take it out. Then pull the bowl out. Now to replace the bowl O-ring, just pull it out like that. Now when you examine the old O-ring, if it's all cracked or bent out of shape, or if it's brittle and breaks apart, then you definitely need to replace it. Now when you go to put it back on, just put it around the ridge. It's going to fit perfectly on there. And the gasket should go on a little bit tight. Sometimes they expand, and when you go to put them on, they're all loose, they fall off, and are not tight around the ridge. Then you should replace the O-ring in that case. The reason why we would replace the O-ring here is to prevent leaks. What happens is when the O-ring is damaged, your carburetor is going to leak fuel from the gasket or O-ring here. Now to reinstall it, put the flat side of the bowl toward the needle part or the pin here. And you want to make sure that the gasket is inside the bowl, nice and snug all around like that. And you're going to feel that it's snug because you won't be able to turn the bowl sideways like that. If the bowl is too loose on there, then you know you should replace the gasket as well, because if it's loose, it's going to leak fuel. Now just reinstall your bowl nut. You just want to snug it tight, not too tight, because you can easily strip the threads. Also, if the gasket's leaking between the bowl and the carb, it's not going to run right. So it's that simple. Definitely, if you have a fuel leak, that could be the problem. Also, if you go to my channel, I have some Tecumseh carburetor repair videos, and in those videos, you will see how I perform this procedure. Now, my next question is regarding a snowblower engine, particularly a Tecumseh engine. This YouTuber's friend's snowblower, when he runs it, the muffler gets a red glow to it. He's wondering what's causing that. Usually what causes that is the exhaust valve is losing air. Or it could also be that the carburetor is not adjusted right. But rarely do I see that being the problem. It's usually the exhaust valve losing air. So here's a Tecumseh engine like we're talking about. This guy's snowblower, the muffler here starts to glow red. You're especially going to notice this at night because it's dark out, even though it may still do it in the daytime. Like I said, what causes that is the exhaust valve is losing air. Also, if your carburetor is set too lean, the muffler may get red hot. Also, if your engine has points and the points are out of time, it could cause the muffler to glow red. What happens is when the motor's running and there's combustion in there, some of the flame goes out through the muffler and it heats it up red hot. So to repair that, you'd have to take the head off, remove the valve, grind it a bit so it sits tight in the seat, and also lap it And I've done this before, and that usually solves the problem. Also, if your muffler is glowing red like that, because it's losing air through the valve, you may notice that the engine will not have the power that it used to have. So that's going to be a video for the future. I will definitely try to make one this winter time, but definitely that would be a video that would help all you guys out there. And you might notice as well that your engine is going to have a bit more power after you do this. Now my next question is regarding snowblower starters, particularly the ones that go on the Tecumseh snowblower engine. Now the YouTuber is asking me if the part number is backwards compatible. So for example, one Tecumseh starter that is common out there is part number 33329D. Now the same part number may come up in the newer starter, same number, 33329, but it may have a different letter at the end. So for example, if your old starter had the letter D at the end of the part number, if you purchase a new starter, it may have the letter E or F. YouTuber is wondering if that's okay. Well, it is okay. As long as the number on the part doesn't change, it doesn't matter if the letters change usually. Usually when it's a different letter at the end, it means they've made a small revision, but that starter will still work on your engine. It's the same principle on a lot of other engine parts. So the starter I was talking about today is the one that goes on these engines, which you see all the time. The starter is located underneath the fuel tank here, and usually the part number will be on the starter somewhere or on the box when you buy it. Now another YouTuber is asking me if you get smoke coming out of your starter. We're specifically talking about the Tecumseh starter again. Does it need to be replaced? Well, if it doesn't work anymore and you've seen smoke come out, probably it's burned out and you're going to need to replace the whole starter. What you would do is take your starter apart. Here's part from a starter that I showed you last week. This one's burnt out from being held too long. There was smoke coming out, and as you can see, it definitely needed to be replaced. My last question today is a YouTuber is asking me for tips on how to replace the auger, bearing, or bushing on this snowblower here. He's talking about the exact same snowblower. It's a Craftsman made by Sears, but it's actually made by Murray or Noma. Now I'm going to have to make a full video on how to do this, but just to get you going, you're going to have to remove the belt cover here. There's usually a bolt down here and one on the other side, and you're also going to have to remove this bolt here and the one down here. Usually the one down here, you can just loosen it a 1/4 inch and slide it out of here. And it's going to be the same on the other side as well. There's a bolt right here, and the one down there, you can loosen a 1/4 inch out and take the thing out. And then you're going to have to remove the chute control arm here. Just take the pin out here, pull the arm out. When you take the belt cover off, you're also going to have to remove the auger belt from the pulley there. Then the whole system's going to come off. Then you work on your bushing or bearing from the back here. And you're also going to have to remove the auger pulley from the back here to access that bushing or bearing. Like I said, I'm going to make a full video with step-by-step instructions on how to replace that bearing or bushing on that specific snowblower when I get a chance. So again, I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank everybody who comments and who watches my videos regularly. And we'll see you next week in the next Small Engines Questions and Answers video. Take care now.